It's a zoo around here. All those peacocks cawing. Well, good morning. I've already cut the 4x8 sheet of plywood down to size. That sheet of plywood goes there. All right, so I got it cut out to fit inside the hole. What I need to do next is put my nailer boards in. Mentioned that yesterday, so I'll get those done. I need to turn the water on today, so I glued this up, put my shark bite valve on. It's turned off. Once about 11 o'clock hits, this will be watertight, ready for pressures up to 180 psi, which far exceeds the pressures of the city water here at this house. Once this board goes on the back side here, I believe I will be ready to start tiling. I quickly wired up my GFCI this morning just so that I could have some power, charge my phone and things like that. But I'll have to go back and revisit that, obviously, because that is not even close to how it's supposed to be. All right, let's get to it. Well, you live and you learn. I had a bag of mortar, and I was like, it's time to start putting tile on. So I mixed up the mortar, got it to what I thought would be the right consistency. And I went to put it on the back of the tile and on the wood, and it just wasn't sticking, like, per se, right? There just didn't seem to be any adhesion. And I know, I recognized right away that wasn't right. So I did a little more homework on applying tile to plywood. And turns out I was using the wrong adhesive. I was actually using a stucco mortar, or just a mortar, period, right? It's not really a mortar that's used to, say, set porcelain or ceramic tile. It's more for setting like concrete block or landscape stones and things of that nature. Landscape block, if you wanted to kind of cement them into place type of thing, that's what it was supposed to be used for. In that discovery process, I also learned that you probably really shouldn't be applying tile directly to untreated plywood. Well, this is just your standard untreated plywood. And even though it's outside, it's never really going to get wet, so I didn't go with pressure treated. Now, they say you can apply tile directly to plywood if it's pressure treated plywood, but if it's used inside. I'm like, okay, so to be better safe than sorry, and to go through all of this effort and only to have this thing fail because I'm applying it to plywood and I just don't know, my concern is that the adhesive, let's say the thinset mortar or whatever that you use to apply to the plywood, maybe it interacts with the glue of the plywood and then the plies would start to separate. I don't know, but I didn't want to take the chance. So I went and bought hardie. This is just a cement board. It's a 3 foot by 5 foot board. It's basically made out of they call it a cement board. Not sure how much true cement it is, but anyways, that is really what you want to apply your tiles to. That's a great substrate, and you would definitely get some awesome adhesion off of that. So I got 3 sheets, not to the wind, but just 3 sheets to lay over this. The problem was, or is, the tile that I'm using is 6 inches wide and divides beautifully into the top. This top is 24 inches. So the tiles are actually 5 7/8. So you have your gap for your grout line, which equals 6 inches. 4 of those is the width of this. As soon as I put the 1/4 inch backer board on, this is now going to be 24 1/4. So I'm going to apply the backer board on the back and on the sides first. I will then measure my distance from backer board here to there, which should be 24 1/4. And then I'm just going to have to just draw a 1/4 inch line all the way down the top, all the way down the side, both sides. And then I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch off, bringing me back to my 24 inches. Fortunately, it actually looks like if I set the backer board on the floor and come up, actually, let me rephrase that. This is less than 36 inches. The backer board's just taller than 36 inches. So I can get it so that the backer board sticks up over this a 1/4 inch, so that when I put the backer board on top, I've got a perfectly square surface, right? So the board would come up, stick up a 1/4 inch, put the backer board down, and it's a 1/4 inch thick, and it should be perfect. So that works out really well. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get the backer boards cut and put in place, screwed in place, and then I'm going to, time permitting, start applying tile. So I've lost, I would guess, a day because of my inexperience. But you know, I said 3 to 4 days for this project. This is, you know, day 2 or maybe 1.5, how you want to look at it. So, you know, I guess you could say I'm on schedule. All right, here we go.